Put your phone on do not disturb. Put it away, go get a massage. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to stop waiting for that text because it's not coming anytime soon. Listen, baddie, I want better for you than to sit around and get upset when your mom texts you or when your friends call you because that person, and you know who I'm talking about, that person's name is not popping up in your phone. We're gonna get you out of this pattern of you being the person just waiting around for this other person to show you the love that we all know that you deserve. What's up, baddies? I'm Rima, and you are now tuned in to the Arab and Thriving Show. Today, I'm going to talk all about why you keep repeating the same patterns over and over again when it comes to relationships, why you keep seeming to attract the same type of person. They might look different, smell different, talk different, but they have the same behaviors, and most importantly, they leave you feeling the same type of emptiness. If you've never heard of attachment theory or attachment styles, I'm basically going to give you my 101 version of it. I read this book called Attached back in, I want to say 2019, that just completely changed my life. I wish I had read it earlier because it would have helped me make sense of why I kept attracting the same type of person in relationships. The book goes through 4 different attachment styles: the anxiously attached person, the avoidantly attached person, the person who is an anxious avoidant, which is me. Last but not least, the securely attached person. We'll start with the securely attached person because they're the most boring. They are people who have no issues around love. They might have little minor issues, but they don't have issues receiving love. They don't have issues giving and expressing love. They're people who look at love from a very healthy, healed, whole perspective. And so obviously the ideal is to become a securely attached person if you are not already. Now, the anxiously attached person. Now, these 2 mantras that I'm going to go over to discuss anxious and avoidance are going to be extremely important. And I hope that you can maybe see yourself in one of these if it applies to you. If you are anxiously attached, you have this core belief that nobody can give you the love that you deserve. You might be somebody who is waiting on that text message, who if someone doesn't respond in 10 minutes, you start creating a lot of stories about what might have happened. You start looking at what you said last and wondering if you said something wrong. There's somebody who, if they don't pick up their phone on the first ring, you start wondering if they're out with other people or if something happened to them, right? So this is an anxiously attached person, and you constantly believe that you're never going to get the love that you need in life. An avoidantly attached person is somebody who believes that anyone who is trying to be in a relationship with them is infringing on their space, is infringing on their independence. An avoidantly attached person is the exact person that will start to push someone away once they start to get close. They might get really vulnerable one day and then the next day just go ghost because that vulnerability made them feel like they were letting you in too much. And then of course, the anxious avoidant is the combination of those 2 things. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they're not texting you enough, your anxious side comes out, you get stressed out. If they're texting you too much, you want to push them away because you feel like, oh my God, why are they giving me all this attention? They want to lock me down. They want to trap me. So there's this phenomena that I learned that just literally blew my mind. And it's called the anxious avoidant trap. And what this means is that if you're not careful and conscious, anxious attached people will constantly attract avoidantly attached people and vice versa. These people enter this trap where they attract each other like twin flames, except everything just ends up crashing and burning. It's not like a romantic twin flames type of thing. The avoidant will reaffirm what the anxious believes about the world and vice versa. So let me just explain that in English. If I am somebody who believes nobody can give me the love that I deserve, I will never get the love that I need, our egos are always going to seek to prove that right. That is what you need to keep in mind. You might not want to believe that, but if you look at your core belief, it is actually ruling over your actions and your behaviors. So you will try, your ego will try to be right. If you are someone who believes you'll never get the love that you need, you're going to try to find people that prove that right because that's what your ego wants to be true. Now, if you're someone who believes that people will always be trying to infringe on your space and your independence, then you're going to attract the needy, anxious person who's always constantly texting you, and you're not realizing as the avoidant, you're triggering their anxiety because you're pulling away. So they might not normally just want to be anxious like that, but you're triggering them to try to take more of you because you pulling away makes them feel like they need to get closer. So it's this really messed up situation. If you're somebody who is constantly repeating the same relationship patterns over and over, just when you think you've learned a lesson, you meet someone else and it's kind of the same story, you might be caught in an anxious avoidant trap. As someone who is both anxious and avoidant, or I'd like to say now that I'm securely attached, but who for the majority of my romantic life was someone who was anxious avoidant, I would initially attract so many men who were avoidant. And what that would cause in me is constantly playing games, constantly overanalyzing, constantly feeling like I was getting played, constantly wondering what their intentions were with me. And so if that person started to get distant, which they would, I would start to get anxious and try to figure out what was going on in the relationship. And so I was that person who was waiting by my phone in a lot of relationships, wondering when the text was going to come. I have a lot of pride, so I wouldn't be double texting or calling, but still that anxiety was still there. And I was still creating all of these stories based on this person's avoidant nature when they probably were just at home watching something on TV, ignoring me because they felt like they were getting too close to me. That was literally like the story of my relationship life. And that's why I like to say I had a lot of situationships. I wouldn't feel emotionally safe enough to refer to that person as a partner or a romantic partner, but it was constantly this situationship that left me affirming this core belief that I didn't even know I had, that nobody is going to give me the love that I need. And so for years, I just carried that belief system, and I constantly felt anxious about love and anxious about the prospect of finding someone who would really love me the way that I deserve to be loved. Enter Ahmed. And for those of you who don't know, Ahmed is my husband. Ahmed is as securely attached as it gets. He has no trouble giving love. He has no trouble receiving love. He communicates it openly. When I give him love, he's very open to it. He is literally what any person who is anxious, avoidant, or both should be trying to seek out. And this is what the book will tell you, is that you should be trying to seek out a securely attached partner, because they will give you no reason to start getting inflamed with your anxiety or with your avoidancy. When Ahmed and I started talking, something very interesting happened. His secureness or ability to tell me that he loved me and start giving me that love triggered my avoidant tendencies. And this is actually when I first realized that I am both anxious and avoidant. And I started wanting to push him away. I started self-sabotaging. I started thinking like, this is not real, or he's doing this, or he's liking me too much, as if that's a thing. Like, why does he like me so much? We don't even know each other that well. So a lot of my self-sabotage tendencies started to come out. But the problem was I had not been used to that in relationships. So I didn't know what to do with it. Had it been my anxiety coming out with more anxious tendencies trying to pull him in, then I would have known that I was repeating that pattern at that point. But because this self-sabotage was new to me, because I hadn't previously talked to someone and felt safe enough to be with someone who was expressing love in a very consistent way, who was always responding to my messages. If I was busy, he would double text me and he would call me. And it was nothing like overbearing. It was just very normal behaviors when you're not playing games and when you're ready to get serious with someone. But my avoidant started to get loud. And for a period of time, we actually did break up, and we have a video all about that. Obviously, we're back together. I really had to come to terms with, oh my God, you don't think you deserve healthy love. What is going on there, child? Like, why don't you think you deserve a healthy love? Why, when you get the thing that you've been wanting, are you pushing it away? What I want to say to you is, yes, of course, in an ideal world, we would find someone securely attached, but that's not really in your control. The only thing that's in your control right now, which is what I was doing in that time period, was healing that part of yourself, really digging deep and correcting that mantra that you believe to be true about the world. You need to reframe the way you look at love. Stop saying stuff like men are trash. I have a whole video about this, and I'm telling you to stop saying it for you. Like, don't say people are trash. Don't say love is trash. Stop saying negative things about love, because that's not hurting these men that you think are trash or these people that you think are trash. That's hurting you and your ability to be in a healthy, loving relationship. Stop saying everybody cheats. Just stop saying stuff like that, because chances are it is perpetuating a very negative, toxic belief that you already have about relationships. I want to really stress that what's happening in your external world is actually a reflection of what you believe to be true. If you are in trash relationships, it's something messed up in your head. You have a belief that's messed up that needs to get rewired. And I really want you to focus not on trying to find somebody, not on trying to make somebody see your worth, because that's just not a thing. Like, you can't make somebody see your worth. I want you to focus on you seeing your worth. I want you to focus on you knowing that you deserve a healthy love, and get very specific about what that looks like. Stop settling for certain behaviors. Stop making excuses excuses for things that in your heart, you know, is not really okay with you. I remember someone trying to justify why someone doesn't text her every day. And she was like, you know, I mean, we're all busy. Girl, no, we're not. We're not too busy to get a text, a good morning text or a good night text. I don't care what this person does. I don't care if it's the president of the United States. I really hope you're not talking to the president because that would be weird. As busy as this person is, they should want to make time for you. They should want to make time for you. I just posted this poem that I had written forever ago, and it was, he should be increasingly excited to have you, not occasionally afraid to lose you. That is how you know you are in a securely attached relationship. Whoever your partner is, they should be increasingly excited to have you in their life. They shouldn't just be coming out of the woodwork and pretending that they love you and care about you only when they feel you pulling away. That's how you know you have an avoidant person, an avoidant partner. You should have someone who wakes up every day excited to text you, and because they too believe love can be healthy and your relationship can thrive. What I would recommend doing if you are someone who keeps repeating this pattern of unhealthy, toxic relationships, understand where you lie. Are you someone who is more anxious? Are you someone who's more avoidant? Are you both? And therefore, what does that mean about what you believe to be true about love? Are you someone who doesn't believe someone can give you the love that you deserve? If that is true, if you believe that, then you need to look and connect that to the ways that you've manifested that in your life. Are you attracting men that are a-holes? Are you the type of girl that jokes around and says, I love bad boys? Do you think that's cute? If you think that's cute, do you think it's cute when he treats you that way? Be real about it. Like, it might look cute on Instagram, but does it look cute when you're in that relationship and he doesn't text you for 3 days? Is it cute then? Stop saying stuff that is not in line with what you actually want. I don't care how cute it sounds. I don't care how funny it sounds. I don't care how funny the tweet is that you want to retweet. Understand that the thoughts that you are putting out there into the world really magnetize that stuff into your life. And so ask yourself, am I putting signals out for the stuff I actually want to be at my doorstep tomorrow? Whether this is a romantic relationship, family relationships, because this applies to this too, friendships, I need you to believe that you deserve very healthy love, whatever that looks and sounds like for you. I need you to believe that you are worthy of somebody texting you as many times and calling you as many times as you want them to call you every day. There's nothing too crazy to ask for when it comes to the way that you are loved and the way that you are treated. So please understand that if you are repeating that same pattern over and over, you need to hold yourself accountable to reworking what's happening inside to make that reality happen outside. I love you so much. I really, really hope that this was helpful. Please comment below letting me know, have you looked into your attachment style? Do any of these 4 that I listed resonate with you? I'd love to hear more from you, and I'm so excited for you to enter into your next healthy, thriving relationship. Love you so much, and see you on the next one.